All right, this is a status hearing. I'm not sure. I had set this regarding service and what the status was. So, Mr. Thornton, what's the situation here?
With regards to the property and the cases of 382 and 383, my understanding is the junk and litter are still on the property. The property is still in violation. It's my understanding Mr. Reed was out there yesterday and looked at the property again and is ready to provide his sworn testimony as to what he saw and some photographs of that.
All right. Mr. Reed, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. and Mrs. Clore, would you each please raise your right hand? You both swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give here will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Reed, would you state your name for the record, please?
Vaughn Reed.
And what's your position here?
For the township of Colin, I do all the complaints and ordinance violations.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Thornton.
Mr. Reed, again, we're discussing the property located at 32216 Eleanor Street, Colon, Michigan. When was the last time you visited that property?
I was there yesterday and I did take pictures.
Okay, so that would have been April 24th.
24th.
Right?
All right, well, let's talk for a minute. Mr. Clore has some hearing difficulties, and so does Mrs. Clore a little bit. Lance, when you turn away from the microphone, it's hard to hear you. And Mr. Reed, you don't have a very good microphone there, so we're having a little trouble hearing you also. Let's hope for the best.
I will stay in front of the computer and up to it.
All right, that's very good. Yes, it does. All right, go ahead.
Mr. Reed, what did you witness on that property yesterday?
I still see mattresses laid on the property. There's garbage and trash still all around the property. There's wood products, some pallets.
Okay. Did you take photos of what you saw yesterday?
I did take photos. I can show those to you.
Could you pull those up for the court?
That is number one with the pallets, trash bags, materials.
This, leave it up there. That photo was taken yesterday.
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate photo of what you saw?
Yes.
Could you share it again? It was kind of fleeting there on the screen.
Oh, sorry about that.
And I would ask Mr. Reed, in the background there appears to be, maybe it's a boat it looks like it's a boat with a bunch of stuff in it.
That is the property of neighbors behind them. That is not their property.
Okay, that was going to be my question. So that's not on this property.
No, we're just looking at the tank, pallets, the wood, the garbage bag, plenty of little garbage all around.
Are the people on the other property being cited also?
We have been after them before. It looks like they will end up sending something new up and they will have to go after them again.
All right, well, we'll focus on this property. The defendants always claim they're the only ones being picked on. And it's always unnerving when I see violations on the lot next door. I'm really dealing with this one, but we are only dealing with this one. All right, Mr. Thornton, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead and proceed to the next photo.
Just a wider shot. You still have the pallet, wood, the tank, but you can see a little bit more trash and garbage to the left, nearer the house.
And again, that was taken yesterday?
Yes.
And that's you keep taking them down before we're
Nope,
done.
I'm sorry.
And is that a fair and accurate picture of what you saw?
Yes,
And that picture encompasses the subject property we're talking about.
yes,
All the junk in it is on this property.
yes.
Now, I also see some felled trees and brush and that sort of thing. Is that on this property?
That is on the property behind. They might have cut some of the brushes on theirs, but it's you see the house behind them has been cutting trees that have fallen. They had a storm go through there a couple weeks ago.
All right, so that property is not on the that stuff is not on the Clores property?
I believe there's a little bit of the brush, but it's from the trees over there. I did not cite them for the brush, no.
All right. Go ahead, continue. You can take that one down.
This is expanding
Another
even closer to the trailer. There's more trash.
Mr. Reed, we got very poor microphone quality from yours, but try to speak right at it. Is this a mobile home?
This is a mobile.
Single wide?
Yes.
Is anyone living on this property?
That I know of, I haven't seen anybody there.
All right, this would be exhibit number 3. Is this the back of the property?
This is the front of the house. The entrance is right here on the main door right there.
All right. More just other angles of the debris. Go ahead, Mr. Thornton.
Do you have additional pictures, Mr. Reed?
I believe I have one.
Okay, go ahead and put that up. So this is a different part of the property. Can you describe where this is at in relation
This is
to
on
the
the
mobile?
left of the trailer. We have mattresses, boards, wood, and junk back in there.
So this is on the same property.
Same property, left side of the house. The other was on the right.
Okay, and this is a fair and accurate representation of what you saw when you were out there yesterday.
Yes.
I would move for admission of all 4 of the photographs as exhibits, Your Honor.
All 4 photos are admitted. They'll need to be provided to the court. I'm a little, all right. There was a compliance order issued here in November.
Actually, I believe it was issued in December.
December 5th. And I got a letter from Mrs. Clore saying that they never got notice of this somehow. So I set it for this hearing, but I don't see her letter in the file. Mrs. Clore, did you write me a letter?
No.
Okay, well, I must have my cases mixed up. Anyway, there is a compliance order in place, December 5th, that says, within 30 days of that date, the defendant shall remove all litter, trash, junk, rubbish, and building materials stored outside the property. And there were also costs that were ordered, $282.42, $127.72 to Safe Built. And that order gave the township permission to clear the property and put the cost on the tax bill. Now, this property is in Colon, but the Clores live on Bauman Road. Apparently, very little has been done from December till now. Mr. Reed, was there any remediation of this property since The original tickets in 2023 and the compliance hearing in December.
Yes, there was a camper that was on the property and it was removed and a few other items, but other than that.
Mr. and Mrs. Clore, what's your position here?
Oh, it looks terrible. We rented some kids and they more or less trashed the place and
They've destroyed it.
they pretty well destroyed it, didn't pay rent for 2 years or whatever, but anyway, I'm ashamed of it and I have no problem. I don't, my problem is me and Linda, our communication, we work on that and I didn't realize we had a deadline. I have no problem getting it cleaned up. I can only work for maybe a half an hour. I fall a lot. So our health problem is bothering us, but it looks terrible and I'm ashamed of it. And I did talk to a fellow over there, his dad bought this place and they told me they'd clean it up, but we don't live there. So it's, we just been pretty well homebound and we went through Christmas, which that's 3 weeks. We went to Tennessee to my son. So I'm all mixed up on all this, but I'm ashamed of it. I understand. And that ain't the way I live. So,
well, it looks like this would fit in one large dumpster. But the township is serious about this and it keeps running the bill up by not dealing with it. It is now springtime.
right.
It's hard to do things in December and January and February, but frankly, this was the mildest winter in our lifetimes.
Right.
But it's time to get this cleaned up.
I
It
agree.
needs to be mowed. It needs to be cleaned. If you can't manage the property, maybe you could sell it. Is this on a lake?
Yes. Well,
Has lake access.
yeah, they got a 30-foot by 100 access to the channel that goes out on Palmer Lake.
So it might be valuable.
It's not gonna be valuable looking like that.
No, it's not.
I just, we've gotten old and I don't live over there and these people, I wish I'd never got involved in all this, but I did, so. But I'm ashamed of it, like I said, and I'll get it cleaned up. That's all I can say.
Lance, the order would have 21 days. Are you willing to give 30 days?
We can, Your Honor. I have talked to the Clores by telephone, Mrs. Clore. I haven't talked to Mr. Clore. I understand that they've got issues and health issues and things like that, but the township's position is that they're either going to have to hire help to do it, sell the property, or the township will do it for them, I guess. But we've tried to give them extra time before bringing this show cause order, and that didn't help. So yes, we'll give the additional 30 days, but I would like the order following this show cause to reflect that if it isn't cleaned up in that 30 days, we do have the right to have a contractor go on, clean it up, and assess it on the taxes.
Okay.
All right, do you understand that? If it isn't cleaned up in 30 days, they'll just do it and give you the bill. You understand?
Yes.
All right. You agree as well, Mrs. Clore?
Yes, but did you notice that when he was showing the one pictures, that gray house that was behind?
Yes.
Okay, that fellow had actually wanted to buy it, but he's going to take that place that he lives in. They're going to tear it down and put a new place in. He wants just the property. So I told Norman yesterday, I said, we need to, he gave us, said what he would pay for it. And I said, we need to tell him, we'll make him a better deal, just get rid of it.
If he cleans it up.
You
Well, that's a
know.
good way to do it. So
Just-
offer to sell it. he gets a discount, he cleans it up within 30 days. Everybody's happy.
So
Yes.
we'll approach him again.
All right, Mr. Clore?
Yes, that, all that brush in the back of the trailer, that's, I know that wasn't there, or I seen it was there, and I told the fella that bought this one place, he's got 2 or 3 sons that live out there. And supposedly he's having this home put in there behind the trailer, all that tree stuff. He put that over there. It's
That's
not-
what it looks like. It's not,
Yeah,
and he's.
But all the other stuff, I agree.
Well, if you get it cleaned up, you sell it, you won't have to deal with it, and
Yeah,
everyone
I
will be
agree.
happy. All right, Mr. Thornton, you can do an order for 30 days cleanup or the
I'm not
township.
hearing you, Jeff.
All right, the township is gonna do an order indicating what we just said. You got 30 days to clean this up, or they're gonna do it and give you the bill. Is there a cost today?
We would request another hour of additional time for this preparing for and having this hearing.
You may put that in the order as well.
Can I inquire of Mr. Reed what the safe belts costs are since the compliance order entered?
120.
So I would request an additional to, my billable rate, Your Honor, is 190 an hour for the municipal work. And Mr. Reed's indicating they have another 120 in this. So that would, that would be 310. We would split between the 2 orders in the case.
All right. Once upon a time, this property was new. You can't cite a single wide trailer anymore on a lot like that, but many years ago you could. And the people probably enjoyed the lake, and you probably enjoyed the lake when it was new. But time has passed. You're not able to take care of it. It sounds like you've got a good plan, but we need to do it within the next 30 days. Now, they also noticed 1101, and I don't know if that was a mistake.
No, Your Honor, it wasn't. I was looking at that while we were doing this other thing. I did ask for that one to be set also for a status hearing. I didn't request an order to show cause in this one because there's kind of some exceptional circumstances.
All right, well, let me, I've got someone that's coming in for a 10 o'clock hearing. Let me deal with them. And you can take the screen down, Mr. Reed. Thank you. Ms. Rogers?
Good
Can you hear
morning.
me?
Yes,
You're in
I
the
can.
right
Yep.
place. I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. We're finishing another hearing, but you're on time and you're in the right place. But don't go away, all right?
Thank you.
All right, let's address the other case, which is cited just as to Linda Clore. That is a civil infraction ticket for this same Lakeshore Drive address, which was building a shed without permits.
Yes, and I've tried to, where do you go for a variance? I tried to call the township a couple of times, but I don't get moving until afternoon most of the time, and usually I tried too late. I even tried yesterday, and I guess they must have closed at 3 o'clock. Because nobody answered, but we applied for the building permit. It was denied because they said we were short 15 or 5 feet, I think it was, from the back. However, from the back, there is already another shed that has a pit and the well in it. And then this one is in front of that, and it was a replacement shed. And there's a basement under that the people years ago who owned that place put in for like a storm cellar or whatever. So anyway, we applied for the permit, didn't get it. So we need to get a variance, I guess.
Well, what about having this guy also remove the shed?
No, you can't move it because it's over it's over a basement.
Your Honor,
I mean,
as
it's
a
a
point of,
nice,
as a
Mhm.
clarification, this is a separate property.
Oh,
This
it's
is-
not the same property.
It is not the same property as the
no,
prior
it's a
hearing.
different property. But I thought that's what you were talking about.
Okay, I am.
Okay. That's at 58995 Lake Shore.
All right, so you asked for a status conference. They put a shed over an open pit, which seems like a good thing. But they didn't get a permit. What's your,
Well, it was
Yeah.
professionally put in by the coal pitzers out there who did that kind of work. And it's all, is it cement block, Norman?
Yes, it's got a cement, it's cement floor and cement block.
See, in the shed that was in there, you know, it had a lift up where you could get down in it in case of a tornado or whatever. And the shed was in bad shape, so they took it off and started building a new one without getting a permit, which we didn't even know they were doing. But since then, we applied for the permit. And like I said, it was denied. And so now we need to get a variance or apply for one and hopefully get it. I just don't understand how that 5 feet made a difference when it was already in front of another shed.
well, I don't know the answer to that. What's on this piece of property?
This piece of property,
Yes.
a mobile home with that built-in thing, and it was in, you know, it was
Is
in
anyone
decent
living on
shape.
that property?
No, we didn't live in it.
Okay, does somebody live in it?
We rented it, and they turned out to be a piece of work, to be quite honest.
So
with
you had two separate rental properties that got
Yes,
junkified?
yes.
Okay,
And the one that we're talking about here today with the trash on it, it's almost like when they left, because I asked them to move because they weren't paying rent. And it's almost like they just threw stuff out there. It looks like a lot of it's gone, so somebody must have picked up a lot of it. But it had to be delivered.
all right.
And
Well-
I talked to the woman that had lived there just yesterday, and no, it was a couple days ago, Sunday, when I talked to her. And she said, you know, she was embarrassed, and she said they're getting a divorce, and she said, you know, she'd go over and clean some of it up. But whether she really will or not, I don't know. We're gonna try to make that deal with the guy behind it.
Let's talk about the shed property.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Lance,
could-
what do you want me to do with that one?
Okay, if I could clarify a little bit here, Your Honor. My understanding of the facts is that there was a prior shed there. It was either in very, very bad condition or whatever and got either fell down or was tore down. I was not aware of any basement or storm shelter, whatever you want to call it, pit of cement block under the shed until recently. Actually, I think I became aware of that March 20th of this year when I spoke to Ms. Clore and she made me aware of it. So they did apply for a building after the fact zoning permit for the new shed. It was denied because it does not meet the setbacks, the current setbacks under the zoning ordinance. And when I did discover in talking to Ms. Clore on March 20th of this year, that there was a basement under it or a storm shelter, I recommended she do apply for a variance from the township to see if the ZBA would grant her a variance. They do not often do that for these sheds. But I thought with these circumstances of a storm shelter under it that existed previously, it might be worth her while to file for the variance. My problem with it is that the Clores move very, very slowly on all this stuff, even though I recommended that she contact the township and then request the variance on March 20th. She still has not, according to what she said today, done so. And that's over a month ago, just to call the township and get the application and file for the variance. So that's my problem with it. I guess what I'm asking the court to do with it today is maybe set this out for another status hearing, maybe 60 days to see if they will go ahead and apply for that variance and get in front of the ZBA to see if they're going to get it or not. But that is the process they have to go through.
All right, and that makes sense. It would make sense to me to give it, it's an existing building, which was out of compliance probably before there was a zoning ordinance. Same thing, these trailers were put in there before they were you were able to do it at that time. But it would make sense to allow a shed to be over it. It was already there. Nobody's complaining about it, and it's covering a hole. But you have to get off the dime and ask for a variance. So we're going to continue this for approximately 60 days to see if you've done anything. 34 or 35 days have passed since you and Mr. Thornton talked about this, and you haven't started the process. So for status conference in 2311010N. All right, let's recap. Regarding the property with the trash and litter on it, you have 30 days from today, which would make us to May 25th, which is a Saturday. It's actually, Lance, why don't you just go to May 31 on that?
Okay.
We'll go through the month of May to get that cleaned up, and you've got a plan for that. Also, you need to contact the township about getting a variance for that shed, and it can be very frustrating. Sheds are an issue in my neighborhood. Senor Juarez Petlan, you've been charged with operating while impaired.
Señor Juárez Petlan, usted enfrenta el cargo de conducir con las facultades disminuidas
And operating without a valid operator's license in your possession.
y conducir sin tener una licencia vigente a su poder.
Sí.
Yes.
Let's take a look at your ticket.
Vamos a echar un vistazo a la multa.
Okay.
Okay.
Who wrote this ticket? You
Dice
got
que-
stopped on April 5th
Le pararon el 5 de abril
at Mankey Road near Frank Jones Road.
en la
Sí.
calle Mankey cerca de la Frank Jones.
That's near the dairy farm. Do you work at the dairy farm?
Sí.
Esto está cerca del rancho de vacas. ¿Usted trabaja ahí en el rancho de vacas?
Sí.
This was
Yes,
about
I do.
11:30 at night.
Fue como las 11:30 de la noche.
Sí.
Yes.
It says your blood alcohol was 0.152.
Dice que la concentración de alcohol en la sangre estaba a .152,
which would qualify you to be charged with operating while intoxicated.
que significa que usted pudiera enfrentar el cargo de conducir en estado de ebriedad.
But the officer charged only operating while impaired.
Pero el oficial solamente puso que usted estaba conduciendo con las facultades disminuidas.
And he also charged you with no license in possession.
Y también puso el cargo de que usted no traía una licencia encima,
Even though you don't
Ajá.
have a
Ahí
driver's
va.
license.
aunque usted no tenga una licencia de conducir.
The drinking driving charge is a misdemeanor.
El cargo de conducir en estado de ebriedad es un delito menor.
It is punishable by up to 93 days in jail
Conlleva una máxima penalidad posible hasta 93 días de cárcel
and a fine of up to $300.
y una
Ujú.
multa hasta $300.
And if you
Ajá.
had a license, it would restrict it.
Si usted tuviera una licencia, habría restricciones en la licencia.
My
Ujú.
advice to you is that you plead not guilty and then get an attorney to help you with this.
Mi sugerencia para usted es contestar no culpable y le voy a asignar un abogado de oficio que le ayude con este caso.
Also, my advice is you don't chew gum when you come to court.
Sí, también no puede masticar chicle cuando venga aquí al tribunal.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sí.
Are you agreeable with me appointing a lawyer for you?
¿Está de acuerdo que le asigna un abogado de oficio?
Now, let me say that you can plead guilty if you wish to. I can't stop you from doing that.
Usted puede contestar culpable si quiere. No le puedo
Sí,
impedir
soy
que conteste.
culpable.
Yes, I'm
Sí,
guilty. I'm
yo soy
guilty.
culpable de no licencia, de haber manejado. Yo soy culpable.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of driving without a license. I'm guilty of driving and drinking.
Yeah,
Okay,
yo soy
all right, well,
culpable.
let's talk about that.
Vamos a hablar sobre
Um,
eso.
Both
Sí.
of these are charged as lesser charges than they could have been.
Ambos pusieron cargos de gravedad reducida. Pudieron haber sido más grave.
So that
Uh-huh.
might be wise to enter a plea and just lock it in at both of these lower charges.
Tal vez es mejor contestar culpable para que
Sí,
usted
yo
conteste
soy
culpable.
culpable.
Permítame. Tal
Ujú.
vez es mejor contestar culpable a estos dos cargos de gravedad reducida, porque pudiera haber sido peor.
Ajá.
All right,
Sí,
did
yo
any-
soy
did
culpable
it-
de los dos.
Yes, I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Okay, did anyone threaten you to get you to plead guilty?
¿Alguien le amenazó para que contestara culpable?
No, yo vine voluntario aquí, yo soy culpable.
No,
Nadie me
no.
dijo nada.
All
I
right, did
came
anybody-
here out of my own free will. I'm guilty.
Okay, anybody threaten you to try to get you to plead guilty?
¿Alguien le amenazó para que contestara culpable?
No, yo soy
No.
culpable.
I'm
Michelle,
guilty.
did he get an advice of rights? I have Mr. Hilliard's, I don't have his.
Señor, ¿usted firmó un papel en español que se llama notificación de derechos?
Sí, sí, lo tengo firmado.
Yes, I have it signed.
All right, very good.
Does he have to print his name too?
No. Print your name on there. All right, well, let me ask you a couple questions.
Déjame hacerle algunas preguntas.
Ajá.
Were you driving a truck 11:30 at night on April 5th?
¿Usted estaba manejando una camioneta a las 11:30 de la noche, el 5 de abril?
Sí,
Yes.
That was a Friday night. Where were you going?
Eso fue un viernes en la noche. ¿A dónde iba?
para mi casa.
I was heading home.
And you live in Sturgis?
¿Y usted vive en
Sí.
Sturgis? Yes.
Sí,
And
Yeah.
what were you drinking?
¿Y qué es lo que tomaba o había tomado?
cerveza.
Beer.
What kind?
¿De qué marca?
Balay.
Bud Light.
How many do you think you had?
¿Cuántas cervezas piensa que había tomado?
12, 24 onzas.
2 24-ounce ones.
Where did you drink it?
¿En dónde lo consumió?
En la casa de un amigo.
At my friend's house.
Does he live near where you work?
¿Él vive cerca donde usted trabaja?
Como vive ¿cómo se llama? En Tres Ríos, como media hora.
He
No,
lives in Three Rivers,
mucho
like half an hour away.
We had a gentleman walking with an open warrant. Jail apparently told him to come and turn himself in at the courthouse. I said, You need to turn yourself in at the jail since it's an assault of no bond.
Well, he's here. We'll deal with it.
Okay, you want me to set him in?
Yeah, please. They gave you a breath test
Le hicieron una prueba de aliento
Sí,
and the
Yes.
result was 0.152.
y el resultado salió .152.
ajá,
You accept
Uh-huh.
that?
¿Usted acepta ese valor?
sí,
Yes.
That's more than 4 Bud Lights. I do my own. It's more than 4 Bud Lights.
Es más de 4 Bud Light.
sí.
Did you drink
Yes.
something else?
¿Usted tomó alguna otra cosa?
No, solo estuve platicando con mis amigos, estuvimos tomando y más o menos como 4 o 5, que vienen siendo 4 o 5 balais de las pequeñas, póngale 6, porque estabas
Well,
tomando cervezas.
I was drinking I was talking with my friends and I drank maybe 4 or 5 of the 12 ounces small Bud Light. Maybe 6.
No las conté.
I
Okay,
didn't
plus
keep track of the number.
Well, will you accept your blood alcohol was 0.152?
Pero puede aceptar que la concentración de alcohol en la sangre estaba a .152.
Sí, sí, yo la
Yes.
acepto.
Yes, I accept it.
Whose truck were you driving?
La camioneta de quién manejaba usted?
Oh, es mía.
Mine.
Was it a truck or a car?
No,
Es una
carro.
camioneta, un auto.
Es un Ford Focus, es un carrito, no camioneta.
It's a Ford Focus. It's a car. It's not a truck.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license?
¿Tiene usted una licencia de conducir?
Sí,
Yes.
mexicana.
Mexican.
But you don't have a Michigan driver's license.
Pero no tiene
No.
una licencia de Michigan.
No,
How long
No.
have you been living here in
¿Cuánto
Michigan?
cuánto tiempo lleva viviendo aquí en Michigan?
no recuerdo exactamente la fecha, pero como pasado de 2 años.
I don't remember the exact date, but it's been over 2 years.
Yeah, once you move here, you need to get a Michigan license.
Cuando uno se traslada aquí, uno tiene que obtener una licencia de Michigan.
Ajá,
Ajá.
pues no la tengo.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'll accept your plea.
Voy a aceptar su contestación.
Ajá,
Now, under the law, I have to set this for sentencing on another day.
Bajo la ley, tengo que imponer la condena en otra fecha, una fecha posterior.
Are you missing work right now?
¿Usted está faltando el trabajo ahora mismo?
no,
No.
off today.
They work
¿Cómo?
lots of hours at the farm there.
En ese rancho se trabaja muchas horas.
Sí, de 6 de la mañana a 6 de la tarde.
Yeah, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The cows need attention 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Las vacas necesitan atención 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana.
Sí, las vacas necesitan día y noche de atención.
Yes, day and night they do.
How many hours a week do you work?
¿Cuántas horas a la semana trabaja usted?
12 diarias, son 12, 20. Son 6 días por semana de 12 horas, vienen siendo...
6 days a week, 12 hours a day is like...
Okay, that's a lot. You get 1 day a week off?
¿Y le dan un día libre a la semana?
Sí,
Yes.
Is it always on a Monday?
¿Siempre es un lunes?
no, es
No.
jueves.
It's Thursday.
So it's usually on a Thursday?
Entonces normalmente es un día jueves.
Sí, normalmente yo descanso un día
I'm gonna
jueves.
set this at an odd time. I'm gonna set it for Thursday.
Voy a fijar la fecha en que usted regresa para la imposición de la condena para un jueves,
February
Ajá.
23rd
el 23,
at 10:30.
a las 10:30 de la mañana.
Ajá.
I've accepted your plea to driving while impaired and having no valid license in possession.
He aceptado su contestación de culpable a conducir
Sí.
con las facultades disminuidas y no tener una licencia encima.
Ajá, sí.
Okay, yes.
I've set the matter for sentencing for Thursday, May 23rd at 10:30.
La imposición de la condena será el 23 de mayo a las 10:30 de la mañana.
Ajá, está bien.
You signed the advice of rights advising that you were giving up your right to have an attorney represent you in this matter and have a trial.
Usted firmó la notificación de derechos en el cual usted reconoce que renuncia a su derecho de tener un abogado que le representa y usted renuncia a su derecho de llevar el caso a juicio.
And that is in Spanish.
Y está en español.
Vivian, do you know
Es
if
que
you're
me
available?
equivoqué.
I made a mistake. I made a
I
mistake.
understand. I respect your willingness to accept responsibility for this.
Entiendo y reconozco su aceptación de responsabilidad en este caso. Yes, Your Honor, the interpreter is available on that date and time.
I want you to pencil that in. They'll probably be getting a hold of you, but we'll do it at that time.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to take this form out to the counter,
Le voy a pedir que lleve este formulario a la ventanilla.
and they will give you more
Ajá.
information about when to come back for the sentencing and what you need to do.
Le van a dar mayor información sobre la imposición de la condena y qué es lo que tiene que hacer antes.
Ajá, está bien.
Very good.
Okay,
Do you
that's
have any
fine.
questions?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
No, nomás venía.
This is the time of year they're emptying the holding tanks at the farm.
Esto es la temporada en donde están vaciando los tanques en el rancho.
Every night on the way home
Sí.
from work, I get stuck behind a manure truck.
Sí,
Cada noche de camino a mi casa me quedo como atorada detrás de una camioneta con los excrementos de vaca.
All right, you're good to go.
Ya se puede retirar.
Go with the
Okay,
court
está
officer.
Que acompañe al oficial.
Thank you, Vivian. You probably don't have to translate manure truck too much, but I'm sorry about that.
I just had to find a way around it, so I just had to use cow excrement.
That's a good description. Anyway, it's stinky and I get stuck behind it every night, but at least in the spring. I will see you on the 23rd of May. And
Sounds
thank you
good.
for
Thank
your
you so
help
much,
this
Your
morning.
Honor. Have a good day.